Once again, good morning to you and welcome back to Still Daybreak Africa. If you just tuned in, Chief of Studio saying on the city, I remain Ezekiel, Ogar. This one will be discussing inauguration amid the tribunal issue, and of course with very friend in the house, President Sam Olorunfemi. Once again, welcome on Daybreak Africa, Sam.
Thank you, Michael.
Very good morning to you.
Happy New Nigeria.
Yes. Happy New Dispensation. I think I can say most people believe the hairs and everything, they are coming out fresh.
Exactly.
Okay. Despite the new beginning, there are still a lot of unanswered questions, if you ask me. Talking about the verdicts of the tribunal and everything. You know, back some times back when we have in the studio, you spoke about the tribunal dismissing the technicalities. Right now, they gave a verdict. Of course, if you are with the winning team, you will say there's the right verdict, and some other persons would be like, it is not the right verdict. Atiku Abubakar said he's going to still seek for justice. So with this statement, what do you see coming?
Well, it falls within his rights as a citizen of Federal Republic of Nigeria. I will know what the law says. At the end of any election contest, if you feel that the result that produced the winner somehow manipulated, or so you are not happy, instead of you and your political proponent to go to sit street disturbing the peace of the nation, the law make the provisions that you go to the Election Petitions Tribunal, you file your petition, and at the end of the day, it's possible for you to reclaim your mandate. I've said it and I continue to say it. We've seen it at the level state. We've seen how some governors, maybe they spend 3 years, 2.5 years in office, and at the end of the day, tribunal coming out to say, no, the mandate that brought you to office was marked with electoral irregularities, so leave the office, let the person that's challenged the case in cause should be the duly elected governor of that particular state. You see that during the February 25th, 2023 general election, we have about 8 states that we did not have governorship election, and that came as a result of court litigation and so on and so forth. We have them around us here. Osun is there, Ekiti is there, Edo, our neighboring state here, is there, even Anambra is there, and some other states, Kogi is there, Bayelsa is there, even Imo State is there, even though falls within the line of the same electoral cycle, but not the same date announced by INEC. We know the latter part in this year, around November, if I'm right now, we'll be having election in 3 states, Kogi State, Imo State, and Bayelsa State. And this one came as a result of election litigation. So if the presidential candidate of PDP in the just concluded 2023 general election is saying that it's good, already they are in court now. So we are waiting for court now to open hearing, because all of them, they submitted their petition. So we're waiting for INEC and Tinubu, because when you look at the petitions of PDP and Labour Party, you know, the petition APC and INEC, because you can't be filing this sensitive case without including INEC, because INEC happens to be the umpire. It was INEC that declared the winner of the election. We know what the Electoral Act says. For anybody to be declared as a winner in every election contest, INEC must declare a candidate. So when you are filing a petition like this, you must include INEC in your petition. You know, we started with the issue of should we allow the hearing should be live on national TV, and at the end of the day, you saw how the council to APC defended a particular case. Know that you can't turn a court session into a kind of jabbering, or you open what is going on there. And at the end of the day, we saw the ruling that the tribunal did not, or the appeal did not accept that prayer from PDP and Labour Party. So it shows that during this petition hearing now, it won't be live on national TV, because the prayer of PDP and Labour was that just allow Nigerians to be seeing what is going on. So and after that judgment, Atiku tried to comment that, well, that will not deter him, or that will not weigh him down, but because he still have hope in judiciary. So let's wait and see what the outcome of this particular appeal will give to Nigerians, or the 2 parties, the PDP and Labour Party. But what I know for sure is that at the end of this appeal court now, I think the Supreme Court will be the final arbiter at this particular case to determine who truly won the 2023 presidential election in this country. And when you look at this election, you know, this election happens to be the most special election in the history of Federal Republic of Nigeria since 1999, because I took time to do my research. You see that since 1999 to 2029, the election that produced the immediate past president now, you see that the winner of those elections moved beyond the threshold of 10 million votes in this country. Only this 2023 presidential election that the winner did not get up to 10 million threshold vote. That is, it's a tradition in this country. You want to become the president, at least you must win above 10 million. But in this election, the winner managed to score 8.6 million votes, if I'm right. And when you look at another thing that played out in this election, you see that the three major political parties, they won same state. Atiku won 12 states, Obi won 12 states, and Bola Tinubu won 12 states. That is 36. So Kwankwaso managed to get one. That is Kano in his domain. Then again, the large number of votes you normally see in every election, 2 million, 1.5 million votes, we did not see that in this election. We did not see that in the election. People were asking, where were these people that will be coming out, giving us those states, giving out 2 million votes, 1.5 million votes, 1.2 million votes? Where were they during the last election?
That will bring me to my next question. Talking about irregularities and a lot of things that you may possibly take to court for your prayer and be able to possibly see results on in your favor. The tribunal went against the technicalities. Let's say, fast forward, let's say we get to the Supreme. Of course, Supreme, I don't think, but I want to ask, will the Supreme also go the same way or try to work with technicalities? And if technicalities are being considered, what do you think is going to be the outcome?
The issue of technicality depends. We don't, because we've seen cases whereby appeal or tribunal will rule on a particular case, and you see Supreme Court coming against that particular. Because, for instance, what happened in Osun State, you know, at the tribunal level, we saw what happened when the tribunal gave the verdict to the former governor of the state, Boyega Oyetola. But getting to appeal court disagreed with the decision of tribunal. Getting down to Supreme Court as well disagreed with the decision of the tribunal. So that is the beauty of court, and that's why you don't take any issue from bottom down to Supreme Court. You have to come from below. If it happens to be a governorship election now, then we have to start from tribunal. From tribunal, you go to appeal. From appeal, you go to Supreme Court. But in the case of presidential election, they don't go through tribunal. They just start from appeal court. From appeal court, they go to Supreme Court. So it's possible that they get to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court will tell you that, well, let's deal with the technicality of this particular case. And I think the major technicality we are talking about here is still the issue of FCT, 25% of FCT. And when you look at the trajectory from 2019, you know, FCT has been a zone for PDP. In 1999, I beg your pardon, Obasanjo won FCT. In 2003, Obasanjo won FCT. 2007, late Yar'Adua won FCT. In 2015, Atiku won FCT, but Atiku did not win the presidential election. In 2019 as well, Atiku won FCT. He did not win the presidential election. So FCT is a zone for PDP. But in this election now, you see that both APC and PDP did not win. As a matter of fact, the only senator, you know that FCT is the only region that is having just one senator. Other states, they are having three senators. And even the senator elect from FCT is under the Labour Party. So it shows a kind of dynamism in this election. And other people are calling that, well, that whoever will become the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria must, but there's nothing like maybe that issue of must and the issue of maybe win or did not is the bone of contention here. Like I cited now, but it was only 2015 and 2019 that the person that won the election, Buhari in 2015 won the election, again in 2019 won the election, but he did not win the FCT in Abuja, and that did not even raise doors.
But if we are going to talk about not raising doors,
Micheal, I'm not here to support APC. So
okay,
I want to balance so that people will not think I'm here to support APC, because I'm trying to say that why the noise here now at this point? That
But
of
course, you will agree with me. Like, if it's not raising dust, those previous times, possibly, if I don't know my right, I might not know what to fight for. Of course, you will agree with me. But if I know my right and I know what the law states and how I can apply it to my favor, of course, I can fight for them.
Exactly.
So I think this situation now, Atiku, as he said earlier, won the Federal Capital Territory, but didn't win the election.
Exactly.
Definitely, the outgoing president won the election without the Federal Capital Territory.
Yes.
Possibly, if the legal structure and the people going in for Atiku might not know the right, they might possibly not ask for it. But if right now the people of our Labour Party understand their right and where they stand, they can possibly ask for it too.
In 2019, you know, after this 7th inauguration since 1999. In 1919, nothing like post-election litigation in this country, because that election was keenly contested between Baba Obasanjo of PDP and Olufaya of AD. Both came from the southwest. So after the election, nothing like post-election litigation. Everybody just let's go more. But in 2003, there was election litigation between Obasanjo and the same Buhari. In 2007. Another election litigation that ended at the Supreme Court between late Umar Musa Yar'Adua and Muhammadu Buhari, both from the same state. Late Umar Yar'Adua came from Katsina State, the state capital. Buhari is from Daura, so from the same state. Then in 2011, we saw the same election litigation between Jonathan and CPC, Buhari again. In 2015, we did not see post-election litigation because the then president, who happened to be the sitting president, considered defeat even before the announcement of that particular result. But in 2019, there was election litigation between Atiku and Muhammadu Buhari. And when you look at Atiku's counsel, they are brilliant constitutional lawyers. We are talking of Mike Ezekiel. He's a well-grounded constitutional lawyer. So I will say Mike doesn't understand that if you have to win Abuja, you must win 25% in next
so just away from the tribunal and court cases. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. We already have a president.
Of course we do.
Exactly. Yesterday we have the president.
So my question is, I think what gave me a little ache was some letter of congratulations coming from certain persons. Now the thing is, sometimes I tend to wonder the kind of politics we practice in Nigeria. It's more like the politics without an ideology, without a focus. It's more like usually called the stomach infrastructure. It's more like whatever benefits me is what I support. Now, just before the president Mr. President came into power, I remember during his campaign period, he had what I would tag enemies, political enemies, if I use that word correctly. What I would tag political enemies, you know, they come against him, they talk against him. Even members of his own political parties, his own political party rather, were not even in support of his vision. During the entire campaign, luckily for him, he won the primary elections down to the main elections. We still saw some persons that were outrightly not for him, even members of his own political party.
I agree.
But just after he was just inaugurated just yesterday, I could see those same persons coming out to be like, congratulations, we wish you well, you know, and all that. And I tend to wonder what exactly is going on. Now, I don't think I would think it offset if I want to believe those same persons might or just maybe given certain political positions, even in his administration. I tend to wonder what is exactly happening in our system of politics. I wouldn't say government, because government will be
if you go against someone and suddenly you come back and say the person is good.
And you be like, the person is good, which the person all well as if the person was actually meant for it. Is that really supposed to be so? It's more like seeing a Democrat praising a Republican just after he met the winner.
Imagine.
You see, Ezekiel, we must adopt what we call the spirit of sportsmanship.
It's not. I don't think it is what we call sportsmanship. But
Ezekiel, let me do the analysis for you.
Okay.
If you are Micheal, if two of you are contesting for a particular office, it's bound for you to be not to be on the same page. Let's assume that I belong to Micheal, a political party. We are from the same political party, and I was the one eyeing the ticket. At the end of the day, the ticket was given to you to contest against, humanly speaking, I will not be happy with Micheal. But the moment Micheal sworn in to become the president of that particular country, I have no option to align with his belief and thought. So if I want to distance myself, that is for my own good. And if I want to align with him, good and fine. So to me, I don't see those who did not align with him during this presidential campaign rally, moving from one place to another, try to criticize him, now coming now to congratulate him. See, politics has ended. It's time for governance. During the electionary campaign, in fact, it's possible for you to see a brother from the same mother attacking themselves because they are fighting. Politics during campaign, electionary campaign, is all about interest, Ezekiel. You are just fighting for your interest. But the moment politics is over, the moment person declared winner of the election, sworn in and giving the mandate, let's forget about what has happened
it's
in the past.
It's more like politicians in Nigeria.
Let's face governance, Ezekiel. That's what I'm saying. So if people are coming out, if people that were vehemently opposed the candidature of Bola Tinubu, like not even speak well during the electionary campaign, even right from the same party, if they are coming out now to congratulate him, to wish him well, there's nothing wrong about that. Now, let me give you a typical example. I follow one of the presidential candidates of SDP, Adewale Adebayo, on social media. You know that during the election, he was, in fact, during the election, go back to his Twitter page. In fact, he accused Tinubu of stealing the slogan. You know, SDP happens to be, you can trace SDP back to MKO's Abiola political party in 1993. And 1993, Abiola campaigned on Renew Hope, isn't it? So when Asiwaju came up with the Renew Hope, Adebayo came out on social media that he accused Bola Tinubu of pluralism. That Bola Tinubu is adopting the slogan of their political party. At the end of the day, he was the first presidential candidate to congratulate Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
I will agree with you.
I
will agree with you that is sportsmanship. But the situation where, like, when I was watching the inauguration process, exactly, I saw a particular figure, I wouldn't want to mention, I saw a particular figure who was in the opposite party at that time, and this was more like the spokesman, the spokesperson against the APC. Now, all of a sudden, is now frolicking with power, just all of a sudden. Now, the person was not there just to congratulate. The person was only there to, you know, I'm also one of you. All of a sudden, now it makes me wonder where is the dignity, where is the integrity in our political system, in our politicians today. It's more like wherever the power lies is where politician mindset or interest lies. There is no dignity. There is no, say, standpoint where you stand for something different.
You see, Ezekiel. When the president was giving his speech yesterday, he made mention of something, and I think he made mention about the North must see the South, and everybody must see each other as one. You understand? So that is what he's trying to say. He himself, he knows that when you are running for a particular office, in fact, within your own house, is bound to have some people that will not or that will oppose you. Now, look at the statement he made in Abeokuta. I'm not talking about the Miloko statement. You know, he later went to Abeokuta. That was when he made the statement of some people are trying to change money, some people are trying to hoard fuel. In fact, he made mention that happened within the APC. He did not point as an accurate figure to opposition parties. He made mention that some people in APC, they are trying to make the process so difficult for him. And all of a
sudden, those people comes to him as a friend, and you think that is sportsmanship.
But he's now saying it now in his speech now, that let's forget what has happened. See, Ezekiel, in a political atmosphere, if you are going to a contest and you believe that everybody will align with you, you are not a good politician. Even if you believe that people within you, people within your political party, even people within your state will align with you, even people from your tribe will align with you, you are making a mistake, because this is politics. So if those people are not coming back again, Ezekiel, to say, well, see, we don't have any option again.
I think there has to be,
unless Supreme Court.
I believe there has to be an opposition in every situation. You know, as a football fan, you know, it can be a better match without having a Ronaldo and vice versa. So what's the point if you don't have an opposition, like standing opposition, like, you know, there to always scrutinize your doings? But in this case, whenever it's more like we have a winner, the opposition turns out to actually just frolic with whoever is the winner. It makes me wonder our system
Ezekiel, as you are today, I know you have a football club that you are supporting. I don't know. Are you telling me that it is only your football club match you are watching? Before, I was a supporter of a particular football team. As a matter of fact, I support English team. You understand now? But each time I want to have a Clasico, those who are watching football, you understand what I'm talking about now. We have two teams. in Spanish league, and when they want to play, we call it El Clasico. Forget about whether you are supporting English team. You go there and do what? And watch it. And in some cases, you have some players in one of the two teams that you have feeling for, but you are not a Spanish football supporter. You are supporting English team. But each time they are playing ball, you go there, you pay money, and you watch them. Does it mean that you've neglected your own premiership and so on and so forth? So what I'm saying in essence is that all those things are there in politics. But it depends on the political office you are holding in this country. Today now, did you see article, yesterday did you see article at the Eagle Square? Did you see Peter Obi at the Eagle Square? Did you see some people from opposition party at the Eagle Square? So if those people who challenge your candidature, those people who does not support you of getting the ticket right from your political party during the election campaign are not coming to say, well, we have no option again. Let's all align with the new president of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let's work together. To me, Ezekiel, to me, that is my home view now. When I don't see it as a kind of big thing in Nigeria politics, and it has been there for long. Now, if you want us to address this, Ezekiel, then let's go back to the constitution. In a small constituency, allows people cross-carpeting, moving from one political party to another, is bound to happen in politics. In politics, that's why I tell you that you don't have permanent friends, neither do you have permanent enemies. So Bola Tinubu himself knew when he was coming, and when he got the ticket, that he knew that not everybody will support his government. We saw it. Did Amaechi support him? Right from onset, Amaechi did not support him. Did Ogbonna Yahonu, who they both ran to get the ticket on IPC, did they support him? Did you see them yesterday at the inauguration? You did not see them. So that's just so that is kind of politics we are practicing in this country. To me, I see it as a game of sportsmanship. If, let's assume we are talking about those at the opposition now that were campaigning vigorously against Bola Tinubu, said that no, he cannot become the president. Let's assume they were the one that we saw yesterday at Eagle Square. Then we can't be talking that what has changed immediately. But don't forget that, see, Micheal, Ezekiel, if you are talking about politicians, if you bring them on board now, if they are fighting, they will tell you that it's a kind of internal crisis. Look at the way Wike fought PDP and Atiku. He's still in PDP. He fought them hands down. And in fact, before the election, he said he will not deliver a state to PDP. And he did not deliver the state to PDP during the presidential election. But during the governorship election, senatorial election, House of Reps election, he delivered to PDP. And Wike today is still in PDP. So are you not saying otherwise? So that is politics. That is dynamics in politics. That's why some people are telling you that politics is deep. Politics is more than the way we see it on a physical space.
Okay.
So that is politics for you.
Sam,
fact, don't be surprised. You see some people that will be facing the president, those that were speaking against him right from the same political party. So that is
let's move away from that. Let's move away from that. Now, let's face some more realistic matters. Of course, it's the new dispensation.
Exactly.
The new government is in. We have a lot of crises that we have to work and be able to settle with very quick effect. We're talking about economic, we're talking about the security and a lot of things.
Jobs, yes.
Right now, we are in a country that will feel like we are not where we are supposed to be. What do you see the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu doing first to be able to do this? Because when you have failed power supply, you have insecurity issues, your economy is not doing well. This can even make investors to feel like we are not coming to your country to do business.
Exactly.
Because we are not even sure of our safety, our life, properties and everything. So what do you think he should first tackle, and how do you think he should go about it?
I don't know who helped him to draft his speech, but when you look at that speech that he made yesterday at the Goose Care, when he talks about security, he talks about economy, jobs, agriculture, infrastructure, fresh subsidies, monetary policy, foreign policy. But when you look at number one on that list, according to your question, security topped that particular list. So we don't know whether this is how he will tackle what have bedeviled the country now. We don't know but on the issue of security, with what I see here, if I do the analysis, I don't see him digitalizing police formation. You know, that have been the agitation that no led to centralized police formation. According to section 214 Constitution, it talks about one policing formation. And before this election and after the election, people were talking about no, let us decentralize police formation. Let us have state policing. Let us have, but according to what he said yesterday, now he was talking about that security will be the top priority of his administration, and he's talking about that he will tackle the menace with reform, and he went further to say that doctrine and its architecture, and again to tell you that
please let me just make this known. We are very much out of time, so just in 1 minute make this round up.
So one, it shows that it's not devolving security to the state personnel, to the state governor. You see that security will still be at the center, because it's talking about equipping our security personnel, giving them more equipment to fight. Then on the issue of economy, right, it talks about economy. I made mention of power in that speech, that number one, electricity must be accessible for people to come and invest in this country, because as it is today now, and we want to have any maybe set up any business in this country without a generating set, forget about that. So it made mention of electricity there. Then it talks about job. Just have been the EU. That's why Nigerians are jackpotting now to other countries, whether good or bad. So it made mention of EU of jobs here, that will provide jobs for Nigerian youth. Then it talks about the agriculture. Don't forget that when the last administration, when they were coming, when Buhari was coming on board, it talks about diversification of our economy. They want to move from mono economy to multi economy. It made mention of about agriculture, but insecurity did not allow the past administration to achieve on the EU of agriculture. But that Tinubu talks about infrastructure as well, and is known for infrastructural development. Then he's talking about first subsidy as well.
Right now we say we wish him well, we wish the administration well, we wish for a better Nigeria. Thank you for coming on the program today.
Thank you, Micheal.
Really do enjoy the analysis, and as I always say, it's still inconclusive. We'll be back again. All right, now viewers, I'm very sure you did enjoy the program, and right now we'll be handing you over to our Lagos studio, which will give you more goodies, and from here we'll be saying goodbye. I remain Micheal Obagiri.
A wonderful day ahead. I remain Ezekiel Ogar.